remember in the morning it was down quite a bit because of that expectation of block deal. That of course did not happen. So today you've seen some short covering, but the expectation is that eventually that block will happen. But what happens after that? It's been a big outperformer, Dipan, Bharti Airtel. But at 740, is it now too expensive, or do you think it perhaps could still give you decent returns from here on?
You're right, Anuj. It's been a great outperformer. And at these levels, given the investments which they have to make in 5G, and I thought they are behind the curve as far as raising their tariffs are also concerned. It's been a while since they have done it. And as well as keeping in mind the competition, I would say that at this level, it is fairly valued. And maybe you would get market-related returns going forward on Bharti Airtel. So, I mean, if you have in your portfolio, you can continue to hold it, but I wouldn't advocate fresh purchases at these levels.
Okay. What we'll do is, Dipan, stay with us. We'll shift focus to the pharmaceuticals pack. Lupin is under pressure. Ekta is joining us to tell us what is dragging it lower. Ekta, over to you.
Thanks for that. Well, one of the big pieces of news that the street is watching with regards to Lupin is the launch of a particular inhaler drug, Spiriva generic. Now, just to give you a background, this particular drug, the target action date, which is basically the indication from the US FDA on where this approval stands for Lupin when it comes to this drug, was expected in August of 2022. As of their Q1 FY23 conference call transcript, they have indicated that the target action date was the 17th of August. Now, remember that this is not a line in the sand that they have to get approval by this date, but the street is worried that there is a lack of clarity in terms of when they could probably get approval, if this approval is also going to come in the month of August or not. Now, just to put it into perspective, in Q1, the Lupin management sounded quite confident with regards to this particular drug. They had said that they had responded to all of the agency questions. They were hoping for approval soon. They're hoping for a launch in Q4, and the launch preparations were on as of Q1 FY23 as well. Now, also in the Q4 call, they had indicated that the device manufacturer was in fact inspected by the US FDA. They believe that the inspection went well, and they are responding to all of the agency questions. And when it comes to their Pithampur Unit 3, in the past it was inspected for this particular drug. If in case the US FDA wants to re-inspect them, we don't have clarity on whether or not that is something which is probably on the cards. How big a drug or opportunity is it? It's around a $700 million drug. It is expected to be limited competition. If in case there are three players, which is basically the innovator Lupin as well as the authorized generic in the market, Lupin can still make up to around $100 million per year from this particular drug. Estimates are wide based on various conditions, but there are some estimates that yes, they can rake up $100 million from this particular drug, and hence it's expected to be one of their key launches in the near term. It is also expected to aid their margins, propel their US business, which has been impacted significantly by US price pressure.
Okay, and what about DV's, Ekta? That's the top loser on the Nifty.
Well, yes, there is a Kotak Institutional Equities new view which has come out on the AGM. They have maintained their optimistic outlook. Several projects related to the 6 growth engines are expected to go on stream in the next 2 years as per the company in the AGM. But Kotak indicates that recovery in generics API is unlikely to help bridge the gap from the lower molnupiravir sales that the company is expected. And hence, they are estimating only a 2% EPS CAGR over FY22 to FY25. Despite a recent correction, valuations still remain elevated according to them, and they have a lower D rating versus global peers in FY22. Now, Kotak has a reduced rating on the stock with a target which is unchanged at 3475. Remember that Divi's has corrected significantly. It's down over 30% from its 52-week high, and it's corrected around 12% from its Q1 FY23 numbers, where its margins slipped below 40%. And that was quite a disappointment. Also, the fact that they do not have clarity in terms of molnupiravir API supplies going forward as well.
Okay, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. By the way, just look at RBL Bank. That 10% freeze open, and within a minute, it's now at 15% freeze. So it'll be interesting to see if because in an FNO stock now you work in 5% additional price band. So 10% happened. I guess a lot of this is also short covering because it's expiry tomorrow, and RBL Bank has been one stock where you have seen huge amount of shorts, and now you're seeing some moves. So today's move actually is really big. I mean, one thought yesterday's move was big, but that now pales in comparison. Today it's just one way, 120 almost on that stock, up 15%. We'll take a break. Once we come back, we have Sandeep Shah joining us. He's the managing partner at Motilal